So Phil, I want to ask you a question about faculty. How have the faculty reacted to this virtual environment? Have they embraced it? What's the feedback that they've provided you?
So the faculty have been really interesting, and what I really like about what we do is we don't just treat them as faculty and lecturers where they stand up, lecture, and leave, or they log in, lecture, and leave. You really work with them. You have to remember, right, that faculty are also doctors, so they also need their CMEs. So as much as they're a lecturer, they're also a participant. So working with them and saying, hey, Dr. Palatine, do you think that this is gonna work? Would you sit through a lecture like this? And then being honest, saying, I don't really like this. Nobody's gonna actually do that. Or, that time of the day is not the right time to do it because this is typically when we X, Y, Z. Really working with them to create these new formats that are virtual has been a huge success. And they've been very receptive to that.
Have you been able to leverage the fact that we are virtual by having multidisciplinary faculty involved in your activities?
We have. We've incorporated a lot of nurses and NPs. Me and you were working on that pharmacy program on COVID, which I think is fantastic. A lot of different opportunities, not only for interdisciplinary, but collaboration like we're really doing right now. So Jim, when you're working with faculty, how have they reacted to this virtual setting and how have you used them to make your education better?
Well, they certainly have evolved since March of 2020. They are much more comfortable providing that engagement. They are much more interactive, and I think if you go back to view some of the activities early on, whether it's APHA in March of 2020, they did a great job, but it was something that just wasn't a comfort level there. And now our faculty have considerable involvement with the audience. They're taking more questions in real time with the audience and being able to get those questions from the audience, being able to react during their presentation. In fact, I saw someone, they were speaking and they were presenting slides and they were also reading questions as they came in. I have no idea how they did it, but it was phenomenal. And I think pharmacists have a lot of questions. And one of the things that we're seeing in the virtual world that we didn't see so much in the live face-to-face is the number of questions that come from the audience is just astounding and really remarkable. And I think pharmacists are definitely more engaged and feel more comfortable asking questions in that remote environment.
So if you could group the questions into different categories, do you feel like they're very diverse and broad, or are there certain types of questions that are coming in more often? I immediately think with pharmacy, they're mostly drug and therapeutic related.
Well, it really depends on the activity, and each of the activities is focused to the pharmacist learner, and the pharmacist learner could be someone practicing in the retail setting, or the health system setting, or specialty pharmacy, or oncology setting. And so when we have oncology activity, there are specific questions that coming in about tumor types and biomarkers, et cetera, that are specific. And I think one of the things that we've done within PTCE is develop content that is focused for that specific audience. And if it is a therapy that is going to be used mostly at the retail setting, then that activity is targeted for those individuals practicing in that area. We have a dashboard in our LMS that is focused on and has the ability that you can identify a certain therapeutic area and go to that to get more education, more information. Pharmacists have a need to stay current on multiple education and multiple therapies. And I think the one thing that we've been able to provide, as long as I've been with PTC, is provide that education that hits a broad audience with the information they need that's going to be able to be very practical for them.